US Vice President Joe Biden has flown into a rather frosty situation in Beijing as part of his 6-day tour of East Asia. The climate's fraught with tension over an airspace dispute that has put China and its neighbours on edge. Mr. Biden has called on regional leaders to improve communications to reduce the risk of the dispute escalating into a dangerous accident.
He arrived in Beijing from Tokyo a short time ago. Biden's trip is being dominated by regional tensions over China's move to take control of a huge piece of airspace over the East China Sea. It covers a chain of islands claimed by both China and Japan. And the US is backing Japan and other regional powers in opposing what some see as a power grab by Beijing.
Today, as the Prime Minister mentioned, we discussed China's sudden announcement of a new air defense identification zone. We, the United States, are deeply concerned by the attempt to unilaterally change the status quo in the East China Sea. This action has raised regional tensions and increased the risk of accidents and miscalculation. We are closely consulting with our allies on this matter here in Japan and in Korea. I will be raising these concerns with great specificity directly when I meet with the Chinese leadership. Toast to
Biden is perhaps the best person in the current U.S. administration for doing business with China's Xi Jinping. Even before Xi became president, both sides were carefully nurturing the relationship between the two men. But analysts question how much that will count, given the sensitivity of the territorial disputes.
Xi Jinping would like to take a tougher stand on foreign policy issues to shore up his popularity. And the Diaoyutai Islands, the Senkaku Islands dispute is a very sensitive issue in China. Chinese leaders cannot afford to be seen to be weak in dealing with Japan and the United States on this issue.
Biden's visit is being seen as tangible evidence of the U.S. pivot back to the Asia-Pacific region. But it's a strategy still recovering from the recent debacle at the APEC meeting of regional leaders, a meeting the U.S. president withdrew from at the last minute because of his domestic budget crisis, leaving an assertive China to happily fill the void.
Biden is expected to propose that China and Japan set up a crisis management mechanism and effective communication channels to avoid an unintended clash. The third stop on Biden's Asian tour is South Korea. He's expected to discuss the issue with President Park Geun-hye on Friday. The Chinese zone also overlaps one established by South Korea.